Hi,
Okay.
fans of high quality entertainment. I am with Teddy. Of course, Teddy's there. There he is.
There
There's
he is.
Teddy.
There he is.
And Teddy review or just listened to for the last few days
Yeah.
or weeks. John and Yoko sometime in New York City, and Grant did also. And so we're gonna just there it is.
There it is.
So Grant had never heard it before the last couple of weeks, and now he's gonna tell all my viewers how much he loves the album.
Right. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Well, probably not really. But let me start this off by saying this. I had, like you said, I'd never heard this record. There's a reason why I never heard it. Me being a big Beatle fan, John Lennon, loved John Lennon, they could do no wrong. There are certain things about John Lennon's solo career that never really took off with me. Okay.
Yeah.
We talk about all that brilliant Beatles stuff. Brilliant. Oh my God. We know John can write songs. When this album came out, I remember Rolling Stone giving this a really like a 2-star review back in the day. Now, back in the day when this came out, Rolling Stone, people paid attention to Rolling Stone.
Yep.
Okay. And I thought, and I sampled some things, but when you're a kid, I didn't really have any money I'm not just going to go out and blow money on a record that gets bad reviews. I was a big Paul McCartney kid, loved everything Paul did. I still love Paul, don't get me wrong. And I would take chances on that because I still thought that Paul could encompass what the Beatles had set into motion. When John, though, there's some issues I have because I think I look at this record and there's some things that I don't like. I think he started off great. Plastic Ono Band, great record.
Yeah.
And Imagine's fine. But after that, I think things I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But let's say we're looking at this record. There are some things I don't like. For one, I'm not a fan of Phil Spector's production.
Right.
I never have been, though I do not mind his work that he did with the Ramones. I think that record's a great record, and his production on that point, of course, we're talking 1980 by then, is not bad. This, we're talking, what year are we on? We're in what, 72?
Yeah.
That slap back drum sound drives me crazy. The slap back vocal echo on John
Echo.
it drives me crazy. Yeah. And we know that all the productions that Phil Spector had done are very muddy. It sounds like it was recorded underwater.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. I can't listen to it. All Things Must Pass. It's hard for me to listen to that too, even though I think that's a great record.
Yeah.
But some of the production on it drives me crazy. So I have to try to put my mind to get past that. Okay. The other thing that I have a problem with this record is the political aspect. And I understand, John Lennon, look at John and Yoko, for God's sakes, very political. I get it. But I'm not a big fan of that stuff. I really don't like to be preached. I really don't care what your views are on it. If we're doing an album, I just want music. I just want just good old lyrics. I don't want to have a message or anything. So that's hard for me to take. But I can get past it. The other thing is that I just don't think that the songs on this record are all that great. I think it starts out really strong with Woman Is of the World. I think that's a great track. Obviously, that's the opening track. Whether you like the message or not, I'm talking just John Lennon songwriting, good song.
Yeah.
Now, the next track, Sister Oh Sister, I think is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think Yoko's work on here I can't even believe I'm going to say this, Larry, but
now Grant was before we started, Grant was a little concerned with some of the Beatles fans out there, what he's about to say, but say it anyway.
All right. I thought that the Yoko stuff was stronger than the John stuff.
Yeah.
And my example is here, Sister Oh Sister. I'm not going to pay attention to the political leanings. Let's listen just the music.
Yeah.
Yoko sounds good on this track. This song if you put it, you could take this track, take it out of 1972 and plop it into the new wave era, 1979, 1980, and it would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
What Yoko was doing here during this time period was predicting the future. She is new wave. She is post-punk. I swear to God, listen to Sister Oh Sister and put it in 1979 and it would fit right in. You can see where the B-52s were widely influenced by her.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Don't burn across my yard or burn my house down. I'm just saying. I think so far she sounds really good. Attic Estate's okay. Let's see. Born in Prison. Yoko once again. I think that her vocals improved by 1973.
Mm-hmm.
By across the universe, I think she really came into her own because that album's brilliant. Great production. Jack Douglas is involved. I think maybe they needed Jack Douglas on this record, for God's sakes. But yeah, I don't know. I could keep yapping. Give me some thoughts, Larry. Talk to me.
Well, I totally agree about the production. That's I think for me, even like I hadn't listened to the album in a while, so I played it twice in the past week, and I even like the John songs more than I used to.
Okay.
And I think the biggest problem with the I don't know if you listened to the live album, by the way. Did you?
I did.
I'm so sorry.
And that's where Yoko falls apart.
Of course, I agree.
Her,
I agree.
Her screaming, I get it. John loves it. Love is blind. He thinks it's great what she's doing. I don't care for the live album. If we could trim this record down and edit it somewhat, we might have a record here, but it does need a lot of work. But anyway,
but also when we're reviewing Sometime in New York City, actually the live album is just like a bonus, right? It should be separate from us reviewing. If you do a rating,
but it's part of it though.
Yeah, so, you think so?
Yeah,
but it's not called Sometime in New York City. It's called whatever live album or
Plastic Ono Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it's part of that record. So I have to look at it as one major work. That's what they produced.
Yeah. There's some good, like Cold Turkey. It's just, once again, it's the mix too, right? It's just a poor mix.
I don't think that the live recording sounds very good either.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I've heard the Frank Zappa stuff. I mean, it's... I really don't. I won't ever revisit the live album again. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, if you can get over the political leanings, and I don't know, there's some. What's the? I'm having a brain. What's the slow song? The John Lennon slow song on the record. It's like the end of side 2. Oh man. Well, I think that I can bounce back, but I think the Luck of the Irish isn't too bad.
Yeah, and John Sinclair. I really
John
like
Sinclair. I think that's okay. I think side 2 is probably a little bit stronger for John than side 1.
But my favorite song is Yoko's "We're All Water."
Okay. I think I like Sister Oh Sisters for Yoko, but we all hear things different. Yeah, I think it's fine. But I think John's stuff, Sunday Bloody Sunday's okay. I think Luck of the Irish is fine, but I just don't think it's top-notch John Lennon songwriting.
I think the favorite song for Lennon fans on that album of his is New York City. What do you think of that? It's the mix though, right? Like I think there's a great song there, but the production ruins it.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I still think Woman of the World is the best track on it.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of energy. I think John's vocals on the record sound good, but I just don't think these are great John Lennon songs.
Yeah.
This is what I think. John Lennon worked within the confines of a group atmosphere. Him being in charge of everything, him with Paul going back and forth. Paul had a lot to do with John getting out great songs, I think. There was a competition. There's no competition here. and he doesn't have Paul to bounce off of. Like, remember in the Let It Be movie where they're sitting there and they're standing in the studio and Paul goes up to John. Okay, John, do you have any
Yeah.
songs?
Yeah.
I don't know, Paul. I probably could knock a few out. You
Yeah.
know, I think he needed Paul there to.
To
Paul
push
was
him. Yeah.
Paul pushed the whole band though.
Yeah.
If Paul wasn't in the Beatles, we wouldn't have the Beatles as we know it because he was the driving force.
Yeah.
After they lost Brian Epstein, it was Paul keeping them together. Yeah, I understand. You know, Paul was doing it all for himself. I get it. He needed the Beatles. John, maybe George, they didn't need it so much, but Paul needed it. But I think John needs Paul or a collaborator more than just Yoko to really push him.
Mhm.
And I think with his solo catalog, I think that's what we lack. And the production, he could have dumped. I don't understand that. I know I'm going on a tirade, Larry, but why was the fascination with Phil Spector with why did John and George like Phil so much?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't think his
when
Let
you
It Be was anything.
when you compare the production of Sometime in New York City to say Paul McCartney's Ram, right?
Yeah.
It's yeah. They should have had Paul McCartney produce it.
They should have. But
Yeah.
what do you know the reason behind that? What was the allure of Phil Spector to these guys? Was it
Yeah.
all the girl group thing? Is that what
Yeah,
they
it's
like?
from the 60s. It's from the 60s, and even Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys loved the
Yeah.
songs, and
But Brian never had Phil produce anything. Brian emulated it,
yeah.
and I think probably Brian knew what to do with it. And I
Yeah.
think the results what Brian got with the Beach Boys was incredible.
Yeah.
But I just never understood the allure of Phil. And I think for a lot of that stuff, I think it takes away from the music.
Mhm.
I could be wrong. Someone in the comments could let us know.
No, I think you're right. And a lot of the fans are hoping that this is remixed to help it a little bit. Yeah.
I can't remember. I really
They
did,
did that with George Harrison's All Things Must Pass, right? They remixed it.
but I don't think it helped it that much.
No, it didn't. Yeah.
It's just the way this stuff sounds.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs re-EQ'd. I don't know. I just think that I don't think it's a very good record.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was going to rate it, what would we rate this out of if we were going to rate it?
What would I rate it?
Well, what would we? I mean, we're going like out of 5, out of 10. What
Out of 10.
Oh boy. I mean, I don't think it's a bad record, but I don't think it's a good record. I would probably
Mhm.
rate it a 4 out of 10, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think it's well executed. I don't know. What do you think?
So if it was just the studio side, would it be
Mhm.
4 out of 10? See, you're including the live album.
Yeah, which is horrible.
Yeah.
I guess if I would just include the studio side, could rate it higher.
Yeah.
I probably would give it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
This-
I would give it a 7 out of 10 for the studio
Okay.
side at least. Yeah.
I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
Paul's work during this period, yeah, but I get it. Think about it. When you're in the Beatles and you're cranking out albums for 10 years, under the gun, 2 albums a year, whatever, crank, creative. John or Paul, I don't think are ever going to achieve that level that they had once achieved before. So when you're looking at the solo catalog, though, I think Paul, you look at Band on the Run, and this has now become a Beatles conversation.
Yeah.
But you look at Band on the Run, it's up there. Ram,
Mhm.
brilliant piece of work. But I just don't think John, well, I guess he kind of did on the first couple of records, but this later stuff, I think John was just in another place,
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan, but yeah, I could give it 4.
Yeah.
4 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know what you would think of the I knew you would dislike the live the live side. I actually listened to it for the very first time all the way through this week, and it was kind of torturous.
Yeah,
Some
but
of them.
the other thing I will say this about the studio side: the Yoko stuff is superior.
Yeah.
The more you listen to it, the more it kind of gets into your system. This is not a record that you listen to and you immediately go, "Oh, hey, I totally get it." You know, it's not like listening to Hard Day's Night and you absolutely totally get it right at the beginning. There's a lot more in this that it just doesn't grab you. It takes repeated listenings to really take hold, but there's just a lot going against it for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
you know.
And it didn't sell that well, I guess.
Well, I think probably because of the reviews at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Rolling Stone only gave it like 2 stars.
Yeah. And all of the politics too. It's like, most listeners, they're not into the politics.
Well, how do you look at the whole political aspect of this?
I think it was over the top when it was released. Like just too much, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's fine for a song, right? A song or two bitching about whatever, but it's like every song is political and kind of a turnoff.
Yeah. See, I just think that John and Yoko didn't have any kind of filters. Like, what would Paul do in this situation? Paul would probably go, "Oh, wait, whoa, we really probably can't do all this."
Well, what's that about preaching in Too Many People? He was kind of talking about, this kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think Paul was into it.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he wasn't.
Yeah.
But Paul was pretty clever, though, if you think about it. Too many people. If you don't really listen to it, you might not get the message.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You have to hand it to John and Yoko for being John and Yoko and doing what they wanted.
Yeah.
After all the brilliant Beatle material, they have to be themselves. You have to hand it to them, whether it's good or bad, because we know there are plenty of John and Yoko records that are just absolutely train wrecks. The Wedding album and all that experimental avant-garde stuff.
It's hard to dance to.
You can't dance to it, and God knows it won't be a hit on the radio. But hey, that's them. They were doing themselves. They were doing what they do.
Yeah.
So I can't flaw them. What do I want to say? I don't want to I can't flaw them for that. They are trying to be true to themselves. But
so between Sometime in New York City and
yes,
Yoko Ono's Approximately Infinite Universe, which
yes.
album, if you were forced to, which one would you listen to?
Oh, Yoko's album's fabulous.
Yeah.
And like I said, the stuff on here, listen to Sisters, Oh Sisters.
Yeah.
This is what I challenge everybody watching this video. Listen to Sister, Oh Sisters and think about it. She is way ahead of her time.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
Brilliant. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
But not on everything, ladies and gentlemen. Not on everything. But either is John Lennon.
So anyway, I should have done this at the beginning, but before we end this, and you're never coming back on my channel again, Grant.
Okay, cool.
Until next time, because I think next time, maybe I might round up a couple of other people, but we're going to review and talk about Paul McCartney's Driving Rain.
There.
Which mean Mr. Mayo used to call Thriving Pain. Although
he likes pretty harsh.
He does like it more now.
That does sound harsh. I don't think it's all that bad. But we will look at it.
Yeah.
But but you know what, Larry? It has to be better than this record.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. There you go.
So tell us about your channel.
Grant's Rock Warehouse. I just put up a whole bunch of videos from the 80s cruise because
I saw the Wang Chung one. Yeah.
I still have more to post. So that's always fun. We're getting ready to do, believe it or not, on my channel, we're going to do our top favorite top five Crocus tracks, believe it or not. That'll be fun. We're going to do, what else do we have coming up? Oh, soon we will be looking at the year 1978, where I've assembled a panel and we all do our top 10 favorite tracks of the year. Those shows have been really popular and they tend to get more popular as we do them.
Yeah, cool.
And then what else? Oh, Grand Funk Railroad series will continue with DC Tune Time. And we will be looking at this gem. I know you like this.
Yes, I love that album.
Okay, we're going to be looking at that. And the whole premise with that, Larry, though, no one's ever seen it, is I'm not a big Grand Funk guy. And all these Grand Funk albums I'd never heard before. But it's fascinating to see if I even like this.
So have you listened to that one yet?
I have. I've been
Okay.
prepping for it.
Yeah. So we'll look forward to your negative review.
Well, it might not be negative. Hey,
Yeah.
like I said, that stuff, the Todd Rundgren stuff, I think
Yeah.
is brilliant.
Yeah.
They needed Todd. It's like I think they needed Jack Douglas on this record.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay.
whatever. What do I know?
So
I'm just some guy.
yeah, you're just some guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's about it. Any final thoughts on anything?
I don't know, but I would love to see what people have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Particularly about the Yoko Ono stuff on here.
Yeah.
Because she's way ahead of her time. And I think she really gets a bad rap when she
Yeah.
shouldn't. You
Yeah.
know, I think her stuff's far superior on this record than John's stuff.
Yeah. And I did a community post yesterday on the album and asked, excellent, very good, good, fair, poor. 7% said it was excellent, which isn't very good.
Right.
Very good, 8%. Good, 22%. Fair, 38%. And poor, 26%. So that's pretty bad.
This is not a favorite in the Lennon
No.
catalog.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, poor to fair.
Yeah.
But still, Larry, you'd like it though, to
Yeah,
some
I do.
degree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've had more experience with it than I have, but you're not missing anything, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. So thanks, Grant. And I hope
Sure.
everybody subscribes to Grant's channel and checks it out. And we'll be back whenever to review Paul McCartney's Driving Rain. Look at that.
There.
I can't do that.
We can do the love thing
Yeah.
if it'll do it. There it goes.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Okay,
Driving
thanks.
Rain, looking forward to it.
Okay. Bye, Grant.
All right. See ya.